Welcome to my channel. This video is for a mid-sized leg garter. I'll be showing how I cut and attach ribbon streamers, braids, chains, and the leg garter. If you haven't done so, please subscribe and don't forget to tap that bell for notifications on my uploads and live streams. I'll be using a 5-inch backer, and I cut these myself using chipboard. For the ribbon streamers, I'm using a 2.5-inch width acetate or poly ribbon, whichever one works better for you, or a floor ribbon. I'm cutting a dovetail or V-shape on the end, and my ribbon streamers for my mid-size garter or mid-size mums are 15 inches long, same for the braids and chains. So you want to cut those a couple inches, at least a couple inches longer, so you have enough room to attach it to the backer. So from the bottom of the backer all the way down should be about 15 inches. And this is just a size mum that I came up with. I don't know if other people make mums this size or not. I just came up with this for a customer because she wanted an in-between, a mini and a full-size garter. So I came up with this size, and then I offered it on my Etsy shop, and it became very, very popular because it still has several braids and chains, and it still has, like the custom stuff, like the custom cutout and lots of trinkets and stuff, but it's more affordable. The way I'm attaching these ribbon streamers, first of all, I'm doing green, black, and white. So I tried something a little different this past season, and I believe I started it with red, white, and blue mum. So instead of attaching the different colors, just changing the colors up and having it green, black, white all throughout the ribbon streamers, I attached the green in the middle, and then the white on one side, and then the black on the other side. And then I'm also going to attach the pretty glitter ribbons as well. But you'll see that this just makes a really unique backer. And then it really helps with the braids and chains, because some of the braids and chains will be like green and black, green and white, or some of them will have all three colors. So it really affects when you go to attach a braid or a chain. Whatever colors you have behind it really affect how it pops on the mum. So I tried this because I wanted to see if it helped with that, with making some of the different braids and chains pop, like putting a green and white on top of, or a green and silver on top of the black would make it pop more, if that makes sense. So I did that, like I said, with the red, white, and blue one first, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So as you can see, I did the green first and then the white and the black. Now I'm going back over and doing another layer. And I always start with the center because it's harder to reach the center, and the wider you get with the ribbons, it's going to be even more difficult to get in the center. So I like to start with the center. Now I'm doing the glitter ribbons. These are just wired glitter ribbons. You can get them at any craft store. You can get them at Dollar Tree. You can get them anywhere. Different seasons, you can get different colors. So I always stock up during Halloween for black ribbons and purple ribbons and orange ribbons. But I always remove the wire, as you can see. I'm using a pair of needle nose pliers that helps to get that wire out very quickly. And the reason why I do that, the ribbons will flow or lay more natural looking. With the wires, they won't. And if they get, if somebody bumps into it or whatever, then the wire is going to bend and then the ribbon's going to lay weird. So when I use wired ribbons on a mum like this, for the backers and for the ribbon streamers, I really like to remove those wires first. Okay, so on top of the white, I'm doing a silver glitter, and it's kind of a see-through glitter, like an organza or sheer ribbon with glitter on top of it. And that ribbon came from Sam's Club when they get the Christmas ribbons. And then the green I got from Hobby Lobby. It's also Christmas ribbon as well. And those two are 1.5-inch width. The black was a 2.5-inch width. And it either came from Michael's or Dollar Tree. I know that sounds funny, but I actually have ribbon from both that is almost identical, so I don't remember which one it was that I used. Now I'm going to attach the garter, and I always cut the garter where the seam is, because they don't want to wear that where the seam is touching them. That would be uncomfortable, so I always cut it at the seam, and I'm attaching it there at the edge, about an inch maybe in. I hot glue it, and then I put several staples in, and then do the same with the other side. And since it's a leg garter, I like to try to make it as big as possible, because when you're wearing it on your thigh, that's going to be even bigger than somebody's arm. So if you're doing it for an arm, you can, I usually cut them as well, but I put it in a little bit further than that, and you could actually trim off some if it were for somebody that had a small arm. So you really want to keep in mind how, if you know like how big their arm is or their thigh is or something, if it's a really, thin person, then you won't want to make it as big. So you got to keep that in mind. And there you go. And that is it for the ribbon streamers. So that's about 3 layers, and you can see I overlap my streamers very, very well to make sure that there's no gaps or anything, and that it looks nice and full. But you don't have to do a ton of layers. If you overlap them very carefully like I do, it looks full, it's not going to be real weighed down, and then you're not using a ton of ribbon. So here's all the braids and chains that I made, and my process for attaching braids and chains is I like to move them around on the mum and decide where I want them. So you know what I was talking about earlier, see that green and white one, or I think it's green and silver and white. I tried it on top of the black, which made it really pop, but that doesn't mean that it'll always look good on top of there. It may not look, just may not flow right. So again, I like to try to start with the middle braid or chain, because it's going to be the hardest to reach, so if you get that on there first. But you also want to keep in mind whichever braids and chains that you want to really be on display, you want to make sure and attach those last. Like I've got 2 different loop chains, and those of course are going to have names on them or words on them, and those need to be prominent on the mum, so I'm attaching those last. That's why I'm attaching the military braid in the middle, and then the victory braid on the left, and the 3 ribbon spirit chain on the right. And I did decide to put that on top of the black, which made it really pop. The military braid was all 3 colors, so it wouldn't have mattered, it would have looked good anywhere I put it. It just depends on which one you want to do, but since it has the white on one side and the black on the other side, it really looked good on top of the green. And then the victory braid had all 3 colors, so I just went with the white. It would have looked good anywhere. And then I had the 2 loop chains. This one was the widest one. The other one that I just showed, it's wider than this one. This one is, that one I'm putting Cheer Mom on. This is for, this wasn't for homecoming, this was for a cheer team. So it's going to have the girl's name. So the one I'm attaching right now is going to have the girl's name on it. And I made it wider. I used that black glitter again, and then I used the 1.3 inch acetate to put her name. Put that on the, centered it on the black glitter. But there's also acetate behind the glitter, because if you just use the glitter ribbon, it wouldn't hold the shape very well. And then the other one, the other loop chain, I used the green 1.3 inch and then the black 7/8 inch, and that's what's going to have Cheer Mom on it. Now I also made a mini mum that matched this, and that's for the girl that's on the cheer team. And I did video it as well. I believe I videoed the entire process, so I will be making a video of that soon. And the backers, the top backers, I made them identical. You can see that, except I inverted the colors. Like the widest one on that backer there is green with silver, and on the mini mum I did black with silver. So just changed the colors up, but I made them identical, and I did, again, I did make a video of that, so I will be editing that and posting that whole thing, and then I'll try to put links with these 2. Once that's uploaded, I'll put links to both of them so you can watch both of them. And then I made the megaphone custom cutout in 2 colors, and then I put the A for the girl's name, and I did that for the mini mum as well, except I changed the colors up. Like the black is the prominent color on that one, but I think it's green on the other one. She also got blinged, so there's lots of bling on there. There's lots of pretty bows on it. Try to do some fun big bows. There's all the trinkets. But of course it wasn't for homecoming, so I couldn't do anything homecoming. I did all, you know, bells, and there's a disco ball, the cheer stuff. That black white striped bow, I'm fixing to show it. And I did it with the green glitter. I backed it up with the green glitter so it really prominent. But I don't know if you noticed on the previous photo, I did have it on the victory braid to begin with, but it got in the way of the ribbon, because I did attach a ribbon as well with the cheer team name Stealth, and it was just messing that ribbon up, so I had to take the bow off, and then I attached it to the bottom of the military braid instead. I really liked it in the middle of the victory braid, but like I said, it messed up that ribbon, so I had to take it off. And that's why I don't like to glue my bows down, because of things like that. So it was very easy for me to remove it from the victory braid. There was just a couple of staple holes that I had to worry about, but I found something else to attach on it to fix that problem. And then I just tied it onto the military braid there. So there's the Stealth, and you see I just used a tinsel. I made a little tinsel puff on the victory braid, so that worked out really well. And there's a green cheerleader, or she's not green, but her uniform is green. I put megaphones and just all kinds of fun stuff and lots of bling. She loved it. She was fairly excited. The only issue she had was that garter, and I don't remember where I got that garter from, because it was one of my older ones. It stretched out after she wore it one time, so I was a little put out with that. Not with her, but with the garter itself. And I had not had that issue before, but so you have to keep that in mind too. But I gave her a couple of quick fixes. She could hot glue it together in a space or sew it together. Those are quick fixes, but that was the end result of the mum, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. Please subscribe, and don't forget to tap that bell for notifications, and comment and share, but please be kind with your comments, and please be kind to others, and happy mum making, everyone.